Hello everyone, this is Noble H. Mustak, and today we are here with another American Regions Mathematics League problem from 2014. And today we are doing relays. No, relay? Yes. Relay run problems. We're going to do relay 1. We're going to do all 3 problems because um in the actual competition that you will need to do all 3 problems within 3 minutes. Each person gets 1 problem. So yeah, for full points you need to do it in 3 minutes. That gives you 5 points. And for half points, for 3 points, you need to do all of them within 6 minutes. So I'm going to do all of them in one video because they are relatively short problems if you know the tricks to them. I was able to do the first 2 pretty quickly. The third one took me about 10 minutes to do the first time. So I think overall it was about 15 minutes for the first time I did it. Hopefully you'll be able to see these tricks that I know now to be able to solve it within 3 minutes as a team. Anyway, let's get on the first problem. Let t equals 0, 0, n equals 2, 0, y equals 6, 6, w equals 2, 6, o equals 0, 2. Compute the area of t and yw. Okay, so this is a pentagon. So first you graph the pentagon on loose leaf paper. Maybe you have graph paper? I don't really know. I don't use graph paper. But if they give you graph paper, then you can use graph paper. But you graph it. I'm going to use a computer because I can't draw. So I have this computer. Graphing calculator, and this is the pentagon. So this is t 0, 0, n is 2, 0, y is 6, 6, w is 2, 6, and o is 2, 0, 2. So I have this trapezoid t, n, w, o, and whenever you have a pentagon, you just split it up however you see it. So you have t, n, w, o. So the area of this trapezoid is the bases, the sum of the bases, which is the bases are 2 and 6, because if you look here, um, that's 2 and that's 6, and those are clearly the parallel sides. And the height is right here. The height is 2. That's Tn. So half times the height, which is 2, times the sum of the bases, and that equals 8. And then the triangle is NYW. Triangle NYW. Base is this side right here. This is, I think, yeah, this is YW, so this is 4. And the height is NW, which is 6. Okay, so the height is 6. Oh, half times base times height, that's 12. So 8 plus 12 equals 20. You solve that problem as fast as you can, knowing the methods you can, because that is the easy problem in this list. So you hand that answer back to your next person, as soon as possible, and then they can do their problem. Let t equal the number you will receive. TNYW means the number you will receive. So it's the number the first person hands back to you. So t equals 20, basically. Because our answer was 20, so t equals 20. Now, if you hand it back the wrong answer, then everyone else is messed up, unfortunately. Which is why the main Association of Math Leagues team usually does so bad. At least that's what I've heard from other people. Anyway, um, the length of the side of a rectangle or the zeros of the polynomial x squared minus 3tx plus t squared equals 0. It says zeros, so equals 0. Compute the length of the rectangle diagonal. So first, we want to find the roots. Your first instinct might be to substitute t in here, but in the actual competition, you might not get t for until like 1 minute. It might take 1 minute to solve that problem. So you have to wait, and you should probably be working on this problem for that 1 minute. So I'm going to do this without t for as long as I possibly can. So first, quadratic formula. T squared squared minus 4 times 1 times t squared over 2. So I'm just going to simplify this. Hopefully you can simplify it on your own. And then here, oops, 5t squared. Oh, this is plus or minus. I've got that. And yeah, no. Okay. So Hopefully you saw how I simplified that. So these are the two roots. So these are the sides of the rectangle. We want to find the diagonal of the rectangle. So that is the square root of the sum of the squares of the sides. And hopefully you know that formula. It's so if the sides are a and b and the diagonal is c, then it's just the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we need to solve for c. So it's the square root of the sum of the sides. The first side is the positive root, and that's squared. And then the second side is the negative root. That's squared. So what I notice first off the bat is that this is in the form x plus y squared plus x minus y squared. There are some algebraic forms that you get used to after seeing math competition after math competition. This is one of those forms, so I can automatically simplify this to 2x squared plus 2y squared. So I get square root 2 times 3t over 2 squared plus 2 times t squared root 5 all over 2 squared. So hopefully you saw how I simplified this into this using this identity. If you didn't understand that, please take a moment to pause. Maybe FOIL this part out, the inside of this. Okay, I'm gonna go on now. The square root of 2 times 9t squared all over 4, and then simplify that. And then 2 times 5t squared all over 4, and then simplify that. So add like terms. Simplify. Oh. And then bring out the t. Simplify. So this is our answer. We got that far without knowing what t is. So now you know t. Your answer is 20 squared 7. That is your answer. So we got like to this before we knew t. So once we knew t, we could just plug t back in. So that's why it's very important to do as much as you can of a problem without knowing what t is. So our last answer was 20 squared 7. Here it says let t equal t and y so that means the second person hands back 20 squared root of 7 to the third person. T equals 20 squared root of 7. Let w greater than 0 be a real number such that t is the area. T is the area of the region above the x-axis, below the graph of y equal the ceiling of x squared, and between the lines x equals 0 and x equals w. Compute the ceiling of 2w. Okay, so first of all, let's just. You should graph this on your own loose leaf or graph paper. I'm going to do it here. Okay, so we want to find the area of this region starting from x equals 0. So this is the ceiling. If you don't know what the ceiling function is, first Google the ceiling function. Okay, so we want to find where does w, where can we put w such that this area will be exactly 20 squared root 7? Well, do we want to find the exact value of w? No, we don't. How do we know that? It says ceiling of 2w. So ceiling of 2w means that we want to find the least integer greater than 2w. So that's like that's like rounding 2w. So that's not the exact value of w. We want to find an approximation. So how do we do that? Well, the way I would do this is that I would just plug in integer values of 1. If the area is less than 20 squared root of 7, keep going. If the area is greater than 20 squared root of 7, then stop. Then you know that w is between those two numbers, and then you can figure out what 2w is based on some other approximations that I'll show later. So first I'm just going to guess w equals 1. So if you look at this tiny rectangle here, w equals 1. So the rectangle has a base of 1 and a height of 1. Right here? Yeah. Right there. W equals 1. Yeah. So that's a unit rectangle. So the area equals 1. W equals 2. So W equals 2. We have this long rectangle. This is a 4 by 1 rectangle. That's 4. And then we have the same rectangle. So that's 4 plus 1 equals 5. W equals 3. So now we have this 9 by 1 rectangle, and then we have the other 4 by 1 and 1 by 1 rectangle we had before. The area is 9 plus 5, it's 14. Okay, so hopefully you see the pattern. We're just adding on um w squared, basically, when w is an integer. So this would be 16 plus 14 equals 30. Now, I'm not sure if this is greater than 20 squared 7. So what I'm going to do is try to find what is t squared equals 2800. So now we take the square root of both sides. Okay, so now you have one number that represents t, 2800. So we can do one number that represents 30, which is squared 900. We compare the two. Clearly 30 is less, so we keep going. 5. So we had 30 before, we add on 5 squared, which is 25. Now we have 55. Oh, 55 squared is 3025. So that's greater, so we stop. So now we know that w is between 4 and 5. So if we multiply this by 2, we get 2w is between 8 and 10. We want to find the ceiling of 2w. So if 8, so let's say it's between 8 and 9, that means the ceiling is 9. If it's between 9 and 10, that means the ceiling is 10. So what does this inequality mean for w? If we divide both sides by 2, we get 4 is less than w is less than 4.5. If we do the same thing here, we divide both sides by 2, we get 4.5 is less than w is less than 5. Therefore, if w is less than 4.5, then we have this case, and 9 is our answer. If w is greater than 4.5, then we get this case, and 10 is our answer. So we want to find, is 4.5, if we have w equals 4.5, do we need to go more, in which case w is more than 4.5, or do you need to go back, in which case w is less than 4.5? So we have w equals 4, and the area is 900. I mean, sorry, 30. If we have w equals 4.5, we add on that area, and then we have another rectangle. So if we go back to our graph, 4.5. Here, from is w equals 0 to w equals 4, we know that's 30. We need to know from 4 to 4.5. So here we have a new rectangle. We're ignoring everything from from x equals 4, and just looking from 4 to 4.5. The base of this rectangle is 0.5. The height of this rectangle, we can just height of this rectangle is ceiling of 4.5 squared, because we put 4.5 into the function. So the ceiling of 4.5 is 5. 5 squared is 25. But the base is 0.5. So we multiplied by base. Area equals height times base. Height is 25, base is 0.5. The area is 12.5. So we add that and we get 42.5. So that's the square root of something. Instead of doing 42.5, I'm going to do 43, because that'll just be easier for me to do. So 43 squared is 40 squared plus 3 squared plus 2 times 40 times 3, which is 1609, plus 240, which is 1849. So we have 42.5 is less than 43 equals the square root of 1849. Now this is less than t, because t, remember, is the square root of 2800. Okay? So now we know 42.5 is less than t. So that means 4.5 was not enough. So what that means is w is greater than 4.5. So we have this case. 4.5 is less than w is less than 5. Because we said if w is less than 4.5, then the answer is 9. And if it's greater than 4.5, then it's 10. So now we know that the answer is indeed 10. And that's it. And yeah, that's it for this video. And have fun doing math.